Well, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this evening, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajame. Gonna go around right now and introduce everybody to get them opportunity to say exactly who they are and where they're hailing from. But before we get there, I want to let you know that we do something here called if you're first time joining in. Glad to have you for the first time. We do something called Four Square Conversation. Four Square Conversation. We have four different topics, and we talk about them 30 minutes apiece. And so sometimes I got to warn you ahead of time. Sometimes it extends, and so if it extends, it becomes three conversations or whatever it is. But that's what we do because if the conversation is going good, and if we feel as though we're helping some people along the course, we're not gonna turn away from it. We're gonna continue to go right there with where we are. And so just be patient, put on your seatbelt, enjoy the ride, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. And if you get an opportunity, give us a call. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. Would love to have your input. Would love to have you as a part of what we're doing here. You are very important. The phone lines are popping up already. So I just heard that somebody just called in. So before we do that, let me go around right. I'm going to my right, maybe my left, whatever it is. But the gentleman to my right, Rodney, tell everybody who you are, brother, where you're hailing from.
Yes, sir. Rodney Smith, Tequila, Georgia, hailing from Stamford, Connecticut.
Good deal, good deal. And down right below me, right straight now is Doc. Doc, tell everybody who you are, where you're hailing from, sir.
All right, Dr. Calvin Ellison from Stone Mountain, Georgia, hailing from Greenville, North Carolina, the home of the Cowboys.
Nah, ain't no Cowboys in there.
No, he said the Cowboy. He didn't say Cowboy. He said the Cowboy.
Oh, okay. I might go with that, but ain't no Cowboy. No, sir, that's not Cowboy country. Let me go to his right, and we have the elder. Elder, tell everybody who you are, where you're hailing from, sir.
Yes, sir. This is Don Carlos Sherrell. I live in Atlanta, and I'm from Kilgore, Texas, Overton, Texas. Put that there together, and that's the home of Benny Sherrell, who was 104 years old, still making sausage. They knew about him all over the countryside. He was a sausage maker.
The sausage maker. Now
That's my uncle.
Okay, hey, to God be the glory. But you said two different cities, man. That place you from, is it that small? You got to combine two together, man.
You got to put them together, bro. Okay. If you don't put them together, you're gonna be lost.
But he did say he was from Texas. Now he said he's from Texas.
I could have just said that. See, I would have done all of it. See, but I humbled myself. See?
Yeah, you narrowed it down to the nearest common denominator.
That's right.
Okay, I got you. By way of the phone.
I lived in one of the places and went to school in the other. See, they're about 20 miles apart.
About 20 miles apart. Now put both of them towns and both of them cities together. How many stoplights do we have?
Oh, we got a few now. We got more than 2 or 3 now.
Okay. Now who do y'all who go up the pole and change the candles in them?
Well, we let the birds do that.
I got you, brother. By way of the phone, we have Captain. Captain, good morning. Good evening, sir. How you doing this evening? Captain Muhammad.
Man, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. How's everyone?
Hey, doing good.
Doing well.
Want to tell everybody where you're hailing from?
Yeah, I'm calling all the way from Columbus, Ohio.
Ohio. Good deal. And we have Captain Leonard. Leonard, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Doing just fine. Leonard Jones, VP for New Order. I'm calling from Covington, but I hail from Saginaw, Michigan.
The SAG. He don't like when I say the SAG.
No.
I got you. Call all the way from the SAG. It's a Saginaw. But Leonard, if I'm not mistaken, brother, you running the show right now, ain't it? In your leader's absence.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. I heard Gerald was on vacation. I think this week. and left you in charge.
Well, actually, his birthday is today, and happy birthday
There you go.
to the CEO of New Order National Human Rights Organization.
There you go. That's what I was trying to get you to right there. Good deal. Now, we got what we call four square conversations. We got what we call four square conversations. And I'm going to go and I'm going to start this off with, let me start off with Rodney. Rodney.
Yes, sir.
Wake up.
Wake up and go to sleep.
Wake up. No. Are we at times, are we sleeping as men? Are we sleeping?
That's a hard question. I think in periods in every man's life, there's a dormant period where they just want to kind of decompress, but as a rule, I think most men are on their game, but they do sometimes take a period of where they're lackadaisical or just kind of don't want to be bothered,
And what is the family and the community to do during those times, Rodney?
Well, I mean, pretty much do like we're doing now. You step in and you lift your brother and you kind of encourage him, because we all have periods in life where we deal with mental crisis, physical crisis, and so forth. We just don't want to be that activist, that pastor, or that leader. We just want to, decompress. So it's up to other brothers that are around to say, hey, look, man, you're allowed to be down for a minute, but don't take everything down with you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's good. Let me go to Calvin. Calvin, what do you say to that, man? Wake up. Are we asleep as men?
Well, we need to get our rest.
No,
We need to get some sleep.
I say,
I'm sorry.
Ellison. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we need to have that rest time,
Mhm.
but it should be the result of I'm handling my responsibilities. I'm alert to what is needed to take care of myself, and even more so to take care of those that are in my space. I've got to be up on my game, because the reality is there's always something that wants to come in and take the strong man out. So I've got to be alert. Yeah, in many regards, we have been sleeping. I have to speak from this particular discrimination or this bias because I focus on health. We've been sleeping when it comes down to health. And the women have been the ones who've been alert, encouraging us to go get a physical, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So in certain regards, yes, we have been sleeping and we got to be awake.
Good deal. Captain, what do you say to that? Wake up. Wake up. Are we at times, and certainly not all the time, but are we at times, sometimes, asleep as men?
I really agree with my brothers. I don't think we sleep. I just think, as you know, when you come out of a sleep, you sit on the side of the bed. I just think we're sitting on the side of the bed. We have the great responsibility, and I don't see us executing that responsibility with the due diligence that we should in the time that we live in. It's kind of hard to be asleep in this day and time because there's so many factors of social media. This show alone is a conscious show. It wakes us up. There's so many podcasts. I can see, Brother Ryan, how we could be asleep in this hour now. Are we fully awake? That's a whole nother story. I just don't think we fully awake. I just think we came out to sleep, we sitting on the side of the bed, and we rubbing our eyes.
Okay.
That's how I see it, my brother.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question, and I love how you did it, because I agree we're not fully asleep, but we're not fully conscious either. So what is in the same question I asked, what is the community, what is our family supposed to do during the time where we're trying to collect ourselves and get ourselves together? Because that could be a minute, and a minute could equal an hour, and whatever. So what is the family to do while we collect ourselves?
Well, I mean, we have, I guess my attitude, dear brother, is the urgency. I have been blessed to be on your talk show for quite a while.
Yes, sir.
And I have known we have covered every facet of anything that has to address us as a people and on the national and political.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clear to me that we're trying to make an attempt, and all that I'm getting, and I could be wrong, to try to fill that void. I'm seeing for the first time from your show and many podcasts that we are really making a strong effort to bring the Black family together, so they will not have to be left out there void
Yes.
of the Black man's responsibility to get us together. So I think, we're not leaving them out there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a concerted effort that we are doing more than I ever seen in the last 10 years. So I'm very pleased of what I see. Am I pleased about the level of expediency in our prime quest? Of course not. Of course not. But there is some movement being made.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Elder, what do you say to that, man? Wake up. Are we asleep? Are we asleep as Black men?
Well, I don't remember the brother's name who said it earlier, but I think someone was trying to say, well, we're asleep in this area, and we're, it was kind of zeroed down to an area. I think about, economics, Black awareness, family awareness, health, our own psychological well-being, and all those kinds of things. There are areas that we are asleep in. Certainly there are. And I think that, as the brother just got through saying right there, he because of all of his experience, he is glad to say that he's seeing something happening, even especially through this show. And what came to my mind was iron sharpening iron.
Yes, sir.
Because when we are asleep, that's when we need our brother. So that we all see we need our brother, because we're hoping that all of us are not going to be asleep at the same time.
Yeah, it's good. That's good.
And we need our brother to help us wake up, and as we talk and the sparks start flying, it helps us to wake up because we're sharpening each other. But yes, we need some catalyst to keep us awake.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, what do you say to that, brother? Wake up. Are we at times, and certainly not all the time and not all of us, but are we at times sleep as Black men?
I'm with Captain Denny on this issue. Those that want to do things are doing. You can be wide awake, but this notion that somebody got to please your perception of woke is ridiculous. And people, if you look around, you see who is taking care of their families, who is trying to do the right thing. Who do you see promoting progress? Who do you see promoting Black families? Who do you see making folks aware of opportunities and things available for you, the best you that you can possibly be? That's the direction we need to be headed. I never say as Black men. As Black men, what? Black men are just men.
And see, you asked the question, and I want to
wide awake.
Okay,
people can be wide awake.
But let me say something. You asked the question, who, and one of my answers to that question would be DKM Media Group. Is one of the ones that's actually trying to stir it up and lead people in the right direction and doing our part, be it large or small, but I think we're doing a part to have a conscious effort toward making sure that we wake everybody up and they understand exactly what we are and what we up against. But go ahead, brother.
Right, but that the whole thing, some people believe certain things that may not really be true. And I never hold people that accountable to my perception of woke. As much as I'm an activist out in the street, love the Negro movement and everything like that, I never make the assumption that it's what everyone should be doing. It would probably benefit you, but then there are certain brothers that are doing excellent without all that mess.
And I'm gonna say this to you. One of the brothers that I can speak of myself personally, because I know, is on the line with us. One of the brothers, and there's many brothers that's here that's doing. I don't want anybody to see I'm diminishing or shortchanging what they're doing. There's a lot of brothers on here that's doing something, but I know that captain, he has the peacekeepers, and I know that they go out there, man, and they do a lot of different things in and around the community to make sure that everybody is taken care of and treated in a fair and a just way. And that's across the board. And people say, well, they just no, it's black, white, orange, polka dot, little stripes. If you got little dots on all over your face and there's an injustice, peacekeepers gonna come out there and do what they can do to make sure that is right. But go ahead, Leonard. I can't hear you, brother. Can't hear you. Leonard, can't hear you.
Second.
There you go.
You made my point.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not the same. And just because somebody's not doing what you're doing does not mean that they are not aware of what's going on.
And that goes back, and good point. That goes back to I can't remember who said this, man, but somebody said, and I heard him say it several times before. They say one person can't do everything, but everybody can do something. One person can't do it, but everybody can do something. So you got to find the lane that best fit you, and walk in that lane and hopefully make a difference. Rico, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
I can't complain at all, man. How y'all doing tonight, man?
Hey, doing good. Rico, I need to hear from your perspective, brother. Wake up. Are we sleeping as black men? Are we at times? I'm not gonna say all the time because certainly not all the time, but are we at times asleep?
I'm gonna say at times some people are asleep, and then some are just walking in a daze. You know, sometimes you can wake up in a fog. You didn't get enough sleep. Slept a little hard, you was real tired, or back in the day, maybe when you drank and had some long nights and you get up and you still got a little bit of a hangover a little bit, and that day starts off in a fog. I think some people are waking up in a fog every day, based on the existence and the experience of being in America. You know, it's really hard to, you know, I wake up sometime, man, first thing in the morning, and I listen to MSNBC, I watch MSNBC as I'm getting ready to start walking. And they'll do the greetings early in the morning, and then they'll start right with the propaganda. In today's news, Trump. In today's news, insurrection. In today's news, Ukraine. And before you know it, first thing in the morning, you're getting punched upside the head with all this mess again. And so now you just came from a dream. You forgot the dream that fast. Because you done been hit with what's going on in reality. So yeah, you can be caught up and wait and think you're woke. And then in other cases, you know, sometimes you can be an accomplice or a contributor to some negative behavior and not even realize you're contributing to it in the process of trying to help. You know, teaching a boy how to be a man. Well, how you be a man? Sow your oats. You know, that toxic masculinity thing they talk about. It's a lot of things that they told us when we were young that we needed to do to prove that we were men. That really and truly it amounted to bullying sometimes. Really and truly it amounted to being sexually active when we shouldn't have been sexually active, being irresponsible and doing things that we thought a man was supposed to do. And at 12 and 10 and 9, we shouldn't have even been thinking about trying to be a man. So, you know, yeah, I think, you know, we do have so many ways we can wake up and be in a fog and think that we're going in a direction and doing the things we're supposed to do. And really and truly, we're actually causing more damage or being a detriment to what we're trying to, you know, make be an asset to.
Exactly. That's good. Let me go to Mr. Hicks, and then we got a Toussaint out of the Alphabet City that came with us as well. So let me go to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine. Greetings to everybody. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Good deal. Good to have you, sir. We're saying something. Wake up and asking the question: are we as black men at sometimes certainly, and I have to say this, certainly not all the time, but are we sometimes as black men? Are we asleep?
Wow. I was listening to the conversation and just triggered thoughts. I think yes. I think the evidence is in front of us now. You know, as men. As men, when we look at how our children, our daughters, and how women have been allowed to, it's not even being allowed, they've been programmed. We send our kids to these mandatory schools where they get their values rather than around the dynamics that carried us through all our suffering. And that was the principles that's in the gospel, in the Torah, in the history even before that's recounted as stories. I think each one of the stories we get in Scripture gives us principles.
Mm-hmm.
And the man, his role is to. I mean, we were warriors. We fought. I mean, because when you lost a war, they took the women. That was booty.
Yeah.
You lost the war, they took your women. So, yeah, I think we sleep in that national account of the larger picture. Because right now, through the court, through education, through the politics and the woke kind of movement, is they're redefining who we are, and they're redefining who the Creator is for us.
Mm-hmm.
A Creator that allows anything in terms of unconditional love, and I do think our source is unconditional, but not black. You've got to measure up to something. We allowed the world to take over our women.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And we lusted after them. We chased them, and well, I heard I think it was Captain said, everywhere you find a no good woman, you'll find a no good man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure did. Let me go to. We were trying to go to Toussaint. I think he has some issues with his feed there, so we're gonna come back to Toussaint when he get back with us. But I think there you go. But let me go. In the meantime, let me go to Kevin. Kevin, what's on your heart, sir?
Oh, good conversation.
I'm sorry.
You talking to the other Calvin?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. My bad. Right. You say, I keep thinking you're talking about me. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I thought he was talking about you as well.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say Ellison. Then that way, we remove the confusion. So, Ellison, what's on your heart? Well, I just say Doc. Doc, what's on your heart?
Well, good conversation, and I love hearing the different perspectives. So that, as the brother said earlier, iron sharpens iron, to where we're more alert on the specific area that I believe that we need to have a responsibility in. There are certain things that are more dear to my heart than other things. So, but just hearing everybody's different perspectives helps you be sharpened in your specific.
Absolutely. Because
I may be the one with my back to you and you with your back to me. So I'm not watching what you're watching. You're not watching what I'm watching, but at least we're covering one another.
Absolutely. Good point. Let me go to, before I come to you, Captain, let me go to Toussaint. We got Toussaint back with us. Toussaint, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Hey, good evening. Good evening, brother.
Look here. We got the whole alphabet with us right now. Toussaint, tell everybody where you're hailing from, sir.
From Opelousas, Louisiana. I live in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And shall I say more?
Go ahead. One more. You got one more for me.
Well, we've established ground in Pearlington, Mississippi. How about that? Yeah, man.
That's every letter you're looking for. Every letter you're looking for is right there. But what we're talking about right now, this first square Toussaint, we're talking about wake up. And are we asleep as black men? Are we sometimes or at times are we asleep? What do you say to that?
Brother Rahim,
well, you know what?
I got to get off, so I'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
All right, brother. That's it. Look, I really welcome, but I meet somebody along the way that's doing their part, and I'm settled with that. I'm good with that. Because if you're looking for a crowd, you're not gonna find it. Every once in a while, you find a traveler that's doing something. I join in with whatever he's doing. I'm not trying to get him involved in what I'm doing. I'm doing my part. He's doing his part, taking care of his family, making sure that he does the necessary things to make his life, the people's lives around him better. I'm good with that. If I can help him, that's what I'm going to do, right where he is. I don't need to say, come on over here. That's a lot of times if a person's not doing what we're doing, issue with it. And if we can't get a person to, it is all the time. If we can't get a person to agree with us, our next thing to do is discredit. We don't have to do that.
Exactly. Wow, that's good. Let me go to Rodney. Rodney, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I was sitting here listening to the dialogue, and the thought that came across my mind: in today's technologies and educational levels, we have black men and expertise in all areas. And as the other pastor just stated, there's not one path to success. We have to utilize everyone in this fight to bring their part to the table. You know, if my thing is not economics, but another brother's is, you know, we need to kind of strengthen ourselves in that area. If our thing is political, stay in your lane, but converse with each other. And a lot of times we get focused in our lane and we forget about the stuff going on around us that will help strengthen us, will help reinvigorate us. Because I sat down the other day and I was talking to someone about stocks and bonds. And I've been always familiar with it. But then when I spoke to the brother and he broke it down on a certain level, I'm saying, wow, I should have been doing that a long time ago. That would have probably enhanced my family's personal net worth, you know, which would in turn would have got me to another level. So what I'm saying is that we have all the tools in the Black community, Black men have. We have all the tools. We're sharp in the areas that we're sharp in. But we have to learn how to utilize others. We don't have to be, as I like to use the term, the one with the answer.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everybody's got answers. So it's a puzzle, and we can't throw away a piece or negate it because we don't quite understand it. That could be our survival. So in terms of being asleep at the wheel, I just think that we're not utilizing all of our resources to get us to the next level.
Absolutely. Captain, talk to me, Captain.
You know, I'm so honored that I'm able to live. I'm not a young guy like I used to be. 68 years old. I'm still just a young fella for some of these elders on this line. But to be able to say I'm living a lifetime, to sit on a line, to sit on a podcast, to sit on a show with men who I've never met before, men that I was introduced through this great dialogue that you have introduced us to engage with. It gives me joy because the thing that I've always yearned my whole life is the unity of the Black man. How do we get to the part where we really could set aside our differences?
Yes.
And be humble enough to see each other's brilliance without us trying to outdo each other and without us letting our ego stand in the way of our desire of unity. I remember the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote these words down. He said, when you take a fraction, you take a fraction and you break it down to its lowest term, then you find the least common denominator. Now, every one of us that went to school and had some understanding of math, we went through that. You take a fraction, break it down to its lowest term, and then find the least common denominator. And the minister Farrakhan broke it down with the wisdom of saying, we have been a fragmented people. And we have been broken down now to our lowest term. Now we're looking and we have now found the least common denominator.
Wow.
And I'm very happy to know that the common denominator on this line tonight is that every one of us have a desire to see us as men rise above our condition. And I sincerely believe we're willing to put aside our political differences, our religious differences, our social differences, our racial differences to meet that common denominator. And I think we're on our way. Are we awake? The very fact that we're talking about it lets me know we are awake.
Absolutely.
That's what I have on my heart.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me see. Can I get Don? Don, are you there, sir?
Yeah. You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, we don't see you, but I can definitely hear you, brother. We asked the question, and good evening. Tell everybody where you're hailing from.
Marietta, Georgia, y'all.
Good deal. Good deal. Asking the question, well, we're saying wake up. and asking the question, are we at times, not all the time, are we at times asleep as black men? What do you say to that, Don?
Yeah. Yes, we are. Sleep at tolerance is bliss, and it's easier to deny when you're out for yourself. And I definitely have been victim to that before. Self-centered, self-focused, and that's something I'm sleep. So but yeah, like sometimes there's just too many things I'd ignore. Sometimes there's just some things that you have to speak up on and address, whether it be around you, whether it be on a continental. So you have to leave your mark. I mean, your legacy depends on it. So there's gonna come a point where one of your opinions is gonna conflict with, and you just have to learn how to collectively problem solve it. And as men have been under the scrutiny of, so many generations, and it's like that little window that we got of hey, it's for us now or whatever. It's like that moment passed, and now there are other groups and their issues don't get an opportunity to grow our own and continuing to develop. And that's kind of what I see, and that's kind of one of the things that I'm trying not to sleep. Appreciate groups like this where men are uplifting men, because we can't forget about ourselves. All the other movements out there that's going on, especially with women development and that growth and whatnot. But on the end of the battlefield, I see us take then wins. And as men, as black men, we should always shove our family to push that bar forward. And so you can't tell someone that they should respect you. You can't tell someone how they deserve to be treated if you're not leading your life, if you're not leading in the group that you're in. One of the things I would like to communicate to any man: lead your life and keep developing yourself, and others around you will develop.
Wow. Okay, good deal. Cornelius, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Hanging in there, man. A little irritated about work today, but it all is well.
Okay.
What's going on, my brother?
Stay focused, brother. Stay focused. Call me if you need me, but stay focused. All right.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. We having a conversation. Wake up, and asking the question: are we at sometimes or another? Are we as black men asleep? What do you say to that, Cornelius?
Yes, we are. We're very asleep in a lot of areas, and a lot of it that gets in the way is pride, and I know that we as human beings, we're all entitled to our opinions. We have our different, and our opinions come from our backgrounds and where we've been brought up, or where our environments and stuff like that, or what we see that can better our lives individually. But a lot of things, I really truly believe, the sleepiness comes from pride, because we're not willing to listen to wisdom all the time, because we're stuck in our own prejudice. And I'm saying this generally. I'm not saying picking out individuals or whoever. I'm just saying as a whole, from what I've seen over the years, and just coming from an individual that dealt with a lot of pride and has been delivered from a lot of that, But I've been doing an exclusive study on prejudice, and what I found out in 3 different areas. I'm not going to go too deep in that because we don't have time for those things. But at the end of the day, it's just one of those things that where pride will keep you asleep if you're not careful. So It's something that we've got to be willing to listen to and adhere to what people try to say and help each other.
Exactly. I gotta go to my brother on Tucson, and I gotta give him a warning. I'm gonna give him a warning real quickly, man. Don't get too comfortable, man. We're gonna hear you snoring over there, brother. Don't get too comfortable. I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Don't get too comfortable.
You see. I'm listening. Damn. Yeah. Watch it. I don't know what happened. Oh, I disappeared. Okay. Yeah. And I understand what's being said, and I understand pride. And some, I would almost go as far as to say denial. But I'm telling you, there are some, a lot that, you know, I refuse to go to sleep, and I refuse to I guess what I'm saying is, if there are those that's sleeping, then I'm gonna keep it moving. Enjoy your nap.
Yeah.
As even when I maybe sleep in a sense, I'm dreaming, trying to figure it out in my dream. I'm having something going on in my mind, even in rest, planning, looking for the next move. Because I'm not going to stay idle. No, I'm not happy. I can't afford to do that because there's so much at stake. We may not be asleep, but we're so far behind because everybody has a movement. All you got to do is have a cause, and somebody will support you in it. What we suffer from is a lack of support from others. So you got to do your own thing.
Wow.
So with all of these, we got so many odds, we say, that is against us, then we got to push a little bit further. So I don't have time to sleep. I don't have time. I'm behind in the race. And then when they keep moving the goalposts, then I got to move a little further. I got to have a more effort. So sleep is not an option. That's just me.
There you go. Good deal. We're gonna change topic. We're gonna go to our next square. It's so many different layers that we could go on this way, and I really want to revisit this square again at another time. But I want to go to the next square, and let me see who I'm gonna start this one off with. Somebody just came in. I don't know who it is. Just came in, but I'll get to them in just 1 second. Let me start with Elder. Elder, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second square, and this is actually a spinoff of the first square. Are we friend or foe? As Black men, are we friend or foe to each other? What do you say to that?
Well, I think that really does tie in our discussion right there. Because our biggest problem is that we don't try enough to understand ourselves, and then we don't accept ourselves. And when we don't accept ourselves, then we have problems accepting others. Because even, I just want to say this little thing about the woke thing. Some people pride themselves in being what they think is woke, and it's almost like a one-upmanship on somebody else who's not awake.
Wow, come on.
And it becomes like a rivalry thing. You know, sometimes even people who are connected to certain ministries, our ministry is woke, or our this is woke, or our organization. And we let those kind of labels and that kind of pride, as my brother said earlier, cloak what really needs to be shown. And somebody said, and that's just the caring for each other. That caring for each other needs to come through this thing. Yeah. Instead of a rivalry, that desire, as one of our brothers said, to help each other.
That's good. That's
so
good.
Yes. So that is a good question. Are we friend or foe? Because I think really, each person, and this transcends. I know black people, what we just do, but when we meet people, you know, are we friend or foe? And I think a lot of times that there's another grid that black people, black men have to look through as they're examining this, that there's another grid that we're taking this person through rather than the human thing. And I think that's a good question to ask. Are we friend or foe?
Good deal. And I think what we're going to do, I can see the atmosphere of what we are with this particular part of the question. So we may extend this for a whole hour, this part of it, because there's a lot to be said. And I want to do this right here. Nothing against what Don Cornelius just said. Not Cornelius, but Elder just said. But my thing is this right here, man. This is real men being men. So with this square, I want let's be real men being men, and let's have this conversation. Let's open, honest, and very candid conversation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to we got another call with the 470 area code 470. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Xavier Johnson, brother from McDonough, Georgia.
Mr. Johnson, I'm going to refer to you as Mr. Johnson. Is that okay?
That's fine, brother.
Good deal. Good deal. Good to have you with us, man. I'm definitely appreciative that you called in and want to be a part of the conversation. We're going to include you in it right now. We're asking a question as black men. As black men, are we friend or foe with each other? Are we really friends or foe? What do you say to that?
We're friends. We're friends. I mean, this is and this is, of course, nothing against any other race. One of the things I love about my blackness is that we are some of the most accepting people I've ever met. You can walk into a new town, not see anybody that look like you, and the first black man you see, there's a genuine nod. Y'all gonna throw up the deuces to each other. There's something just innate in our character. However, the other side of that coin is the world has taught us that if I don't have as much as you have, if my wife is not as pretty as yours, car not as nice as yours, that there is something for me to hate or fight against, right? Even intelligence. It happens in intellectual conversations. God forbid somebody, another brother step up and may speak a little bit more articulate or fit a little better than yours do. It's an innate issue it's a flaw. It's just a flaw in humanity. And we have to come over it, but all in all, I think now we're talking about good-willed men. We're not just talking about just your average Joe. Men who are self-aware, who are and I won't even go as far as to say saved. I'll just say just self-aware men, educated, mature men, are very much friends. But if you don't have a lot of those leveling factors, whether it be education, spirituality, things like that, then it creates a dichotomy that you're not going to be able to be friendly with.
Wow, that's good.
Just because you're on another level.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, that's me. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, absolutely. And stay with us, brother. Hang out with us, man. We're gonna be here until 10. So hang out with us as long as you can, because I definitely want to have your input on what we're talking about. Right now, let me go to Rico. Rico, as black men, are we friend or foe to each other? What do you say to that?
To me, you can get it however you like it. I prefer to be friends because we brothers, but I ain't gonna force it down your throat. You remember, in the movie Friday, you remember the neighbor Stanley? You tell Stanley didn't like nobody in his neighborhood.
With the grass.
Man, he didn't like nobody in his neighborhood, man, and he definitely wanted them to stay off his grass.
Yeah.
You could tell he was not a people person, and he wasn't about the community. So I was thinking about what the brother just said, because in a lot of cases, you will see a brother or sister, you'll get that nod. I remember going to a majority white school and having several black teachers, females, and I would give that nod, and they would let me know that ain't flying here. I'm trying to get my job. And guess what? You remember that video you showed earlier? They would treat me like that, and then let little Johnny get away with murder. give them all kind of special little privileges. But every time they talked to me, it was like I was being a troublemaker. Oh, what you fixing to say? You fixing to say something about black and white stuff? They say, oh, Miss Minnie Pearl, they call about first name and child, this and that. The principal daughter talked to her like she was her help. Then I'd be like, come on, Miss Ross, come on now, you're a sister.
Yeah.
Get out my class. You don't do that sister stuff with me. I'm like, wait a minute. But she just called you a girl.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you see those situations happen where that's not really reciprocated. It's not wanted because they know if it's shown on that job, somebody might be intimidated. But hey, you know what? Oh, Ricky over there looked like he liked the brotherhood. Let's see if he wants to still go fishing with us. Over there, call him one of them names that he normally let you get away with. You know, they intimidated because now they ain't the only one in the crowd. I've been in that situation where you come around and it might be a black person around a bunch of white people, and that black person look at you like, what you doing here? These my people. These my friends. So I mean, you know, are we friends or foe? It depends on what you want with me.
Wow.
I would definitely prefer that we be friends, my brother.
I heard 50 Cent say something in an interview that he had a little while ago, and he said the interview person who's conducting the interview say, do you like having problems with people? He said, no. He said, no, I don't like having no problems. He said, I go up to them, I don't want no problems. But he said, if they say they want a problem, I look at them and I say no problem, and it goes that way. But is that the positive thing that we need to do and that we need to concentrate on? Because somebody have to jump over that obstacle, if you will, and keep a certain element of peace in some kind of way. Because if we fight against each other, man, neither one of us are winning. Neither one of, we might win the fight, but what did we really win? What did we really accomplish by fighting with each other? Rodney, what's on your heart, brother? As black men, are we friends or foe?
Well, I really thought about this situation because I can relate some personal stuff to this. It's a double-edged sword. On a social level, yeah, we're friends, but when it comes to things of substance, a lot of times we're foe. A lot of times what we do is that we judge the information that's given based on who's giving it. As the brother said earlier, if we do not consider the source reliable, okay, or we don't consider it reliable, we kind of blow it off and negate it. A true story. At the town I was in, Urban Renewal came in 75 and had a 30-year plan for the city. All right. And I was in a position to know about this. Had a meeting with a lot of the black pastors in the area, said, look, this is what's coming down the road, the 30-year plan. And the first thing was said to me was, who are you? They would have told us about it before you found out about it. And I said, I'm sitting here in the boardroom in the meetings and I hear what's going on. I'm giving you heads up. But because I didn't have a doctorate degree, I didn't have a congregation, I was unimportant. So years have passed. All the black folks in that city ran out of that city. All the personal wealth that they had was demolished only because a lot of folks in a certain position, if they don't consider the source reliable or not to their standards, whether it's a class issue, whether it's religion issue, whether it's whatever issue it is, if they pass judgment on where it's coming from, my shoes are not shiny enough, I'm not driving that right car, as the brother said, my information is invalid. And so we as a people, we're creating our own problems by diminishing the sources of information that come to us by prejudging where it's coming from without investigating it.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Cornelius, talk to me, brother. Are we as black men, as black men, are we friend or foe toward each other?
Man, when you asked that question, man, I had so many different thoughts going through my brain, and I'm trying to put it all together in just a short time because I know I don't have too much time to talk, and I don't want to delay a lot of other folks' time. Let me say this. I brought this up earlier. I believe what makes us foes is our prejudice. A lot of things that we're prejudiced about and we feel real strong and passionate about these things, we become foes with it. And if you really pay attention, look at all what we love so much. We love sports. you always look. It's like you like the Steelers. I like the Lions. When you talk about my Lions and I talk about your Steelers, we become foes.
Yeah, yeah.
But we still friends.
Yeah,
On
exactly.
the deeper level, you my dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But
Likewise.
when we go to that,
Mm-hmm.
we foes. and saying that basketball, if you notice, LeBron James is probably one of the greatest of all times. And I see Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. But when we talk about it, who's the greatest? It becomes foes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And people bicker back and forth and all this stuff, you know, and things that we feel so strongly about what makes us foes. And then think about this. I'm gonna go back to the most prominent black men in our history, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They were foes. Because Malcolm X said one point of one side of you on his prejudice. Martin Luther King tried to love all. But what did Malcolm X call him before they became friends? He called him an Uncle Tom. And it became foes. They were foes until finally Malcolm X realized something like, we ain't got to be all this. We're all black. We all fight the same cause. And that's when it became friends. And they met together and talked together. And these are the different things that we got to recognize that when we can't allow our prejudice to make us foes as black people. And we always see things on different sides of the spectrum. And I noticed something too. If you ever notice this, we live in a very opinionated society. Everybody has an opinion on something. That's how you got all these different sports talk shows, these debate shows, all this stuff. It's all opinionated. Everyone has their opinion about something, and it creates an atmosphere of foes. And just like when you look at the sports magnitude, going back to that right quick, if the NBA players are friends, people got a problem with that. If they're playing, like if Steph Curry hugging on Kevin Durant, the media don't want them hugging; they want them to be foes.
Gladiators.
If they all cool and stuff like that, this is the atmosphere that our world and our society has created to be foes.
Wow.
Just like we always talk about blacks and whites. It's always been that way. And I'm going to end it with this. In the black society, I look up my man, Nipsey Hussle. I think about him. I don't know the whole magnitude, but another black man killed him. That was a foe. And if you really look at it, Raheem, man, I believe, and I ended with this. It's an old saying I heard. People come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. I believe that you are a lifetime friend to me.
Yes, sir.
But I also believe it's people that's been in my life that come through that was only there for a season. Whether we separated because we disagreed about something or whether they moved on with their life and just decided not to reach back out to me. But to me, they're still my friends because they were there for a purpose and a reason for my life. And that's the mentality that we have to take. People come through our life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And we make that assumption to where it's supposed to be, then we will not be foes.
Absolutely.
We just know that they're there for a reason or purpose.
Absolutely.
So sorry for being so long-winded, but that's just my thing.
No, brother, I appreciate the point that you took on that, man. I definitely do. Leonard, talk to me, brother. As black men, are we friends or foe towards each other?
Well, it just depends on who you are. I've never gone after a person as a foe. I'm always trying to be friendly. That's just who I am. I don't care what color you are.
Yeah.
It does not matter. Now, if we have something in common, and it's easier for us to get along because we have something in common. We have some common ground. That's always cool too. You know, if I walk into a room and I know there's a certain type of men I'm going to meet, that's what I expect. Men coming together for one purpose and one cause. That's what I'm there for, not for anything else. I think one of the biggest problems is when somebody get in their feeling and that ego start messing with them. See, me, because a lot of people mistake me because it does not matter who I am, does not matter my title or anything. I am usually the same person. You know what I'm saying? So when I meet people that always, you know, you got some people that's just what they do. They always start trouble. They always try to pit themselves against other people. Me, I don't really care. Because what's in it for me to make you look bad? What? There's nothing in that for me.
What do you
I've
gain?
never gotten any. I don't have those ego problems that a lot of men have in the first place. But when I meet men who have to have this and who have to have that in order to feel better about themselves, I don't associate with those type of men.
Exactly.
I just don't, because you're not my type of person.
That's good.
So
That's good.
so we're not going to get along. There's no common ground because I know who you are. And if you can't, like, say for instance, even if you have a fault and say me, Donald, and we all get together for a purpose to clean up the neighborhood. I don't have to like you to get together because I've committed to that purpose of cleaning the neighborhood.
Exactly.
It's not about me liking you.
Get the job done.
It's about doing what it is we came together to do.
That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to have your input and join into this conversation. We're talking right now about as black men, black men, or whatever it is. Are we friend or foe towards each other? Captain, what do you say to that?
Man, I'm joining the Dr. Leonard School. Where can I sign up? I just want to know. Where can I join Dr. Leonard School? No, brother. I love the brilliance. Every one of these brothers who spoke before me, man. I mean, they articulated very well. You know, it's almost like every one of us once upon a time, you know, gone to the club. And when you go to the club, you know, you single, you see the brothers, everybody's in a good mood. You see your man, you're telling each other, what's going on, bro? And everybody is friends because we're all hunting. We don't become forward till we catch. And we got somebody's hunt that they didn't get. And well, we may become forward. But the beautiful thing that you said is really family. Most of the time, if you focus, if you're dealing with an individual who really have what we call low self-esteem issues, I've learned when men can't get along with other men, it's normally because they are intimidated, or they're jealous, or they're victims of their own self-hatred.
Yeah.
I don't see that on the line with the men we're talking today. I see men who are very conscious. I see men who are spiritually based. I see men who are very secure with themselves. I don't see no insecurity, because sometimes insecurity is masked by arrogance. Most people that are insecure, they hide their insecurities and they mask it with arrogance. And this is the way they hide the insecurity.
Yeah.
This is me talking. So when you see foe, it's somebody who has a deep self-hatred about themselves. It ain't got nothing to do with you. One of the things I've learned is that, you know, jealousy seems to be natural because our children are jealous. But envy is unnatural, because envy is, look at word envy. See, envy is not that the person wants what you got. Envy is they don't believe you deserve it.
Wow.
I got to say that again. Envy is not one that somebody wants what you got. They just don't believe you deserve it. And that's a sickness, man. That's a sickness. Because even if you envious of your brother, you're not envious of what they got, but you're envious of the gift that God has given them. And therefore, you can never please an envious person, because to try to please an envious person is to displease God, who made you and gave you the gift that He gave you. They are envious of your gift. So when we try to see, are you friend or foe, you're going to be an enemy. to those who have a problem of self-hatred within themselves. What? We're mostly friends. I love when I see my brother. I like what the brother said. When you go into that neighborhood and you don't see nobody that look like you, and then when you do see somebody that look like you, like my man said, we give each other the nod.
Yeah.
What is that signal? Only we know what that means. That means if you're not being hung in the square, then I'm safe. If they hung you, I'm safe. That's all they're saying. But it's beautiful when you see the friendliness. We got it right here on this line, man. We got it right here on this line. We got friendship, man. Maybe we do have a couple of foes out there, but basically, we have got real men dealing with real issues, and these men that I'm honored to know I'm on this line with, these are real secure men about themselves. And when you find it, you got friends.
Absolutely. There's so many different layers on this thing, man. We're gonna continue this conversation. We're at the top of the hour, but we're gonna continue this particular conversation. I'm gonna go to let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what do you say to that, man? As black men, are we friend or are we foe? Tucson, talk to me.
We friends, man. Cap opened my eyes on some things, man, because I couldn't help but we automatically friends. Let me just answer that because man, look, we have this automatic natural bond that all we have to do is come together. Now I will not I don't do stupid and I don't do foolish. Not
Lord.
Lord. But Cap made me think about something. Here's two brothers. I'm talking brothers. They got the same blood. They come from the same they got the same parents. They live together, they sleep together, they walk together. But something happened. They had to give something from the heart. And one was blessed and one was cursed because of his like of wanting to give the best. And his brother was blessed and he killed the boy. He said, "Come on, let's go out in the field and let's talk." And Cain killed Abel. And a lot of times it's not the fact, and he hit that just hit me like a ton of bricks. Sometimes it's not because of us having. We don't have a problem with another person having. It just seems like we think they don't deserve it. And it just creates a fuel in us that's destructive. And we do it over and over and over again. All I got to do is get a nickel above starvation and you're mad. And I'm wondering why. Because you think that I don't deserve it. Or I think that you don't deserve it. And these friends, these brothers, these two people, a group of men, especially us, look at each other and we just want to dig a hole like Joseph's brothers did him. All he was a dreamer. All his dad was gave him a coat of many colors because he loved it, because it was a good thing because he had him at his young age. But they hated that boy because of that. And here he is checking on him. All he was doing, checking on his friends, his brothers. And they say, "Look at it, here he come. Let's kill him." And he dug a hole. Well, they didn't dig a hole, but they threw him in a hole. If it wasn't for his older brother having care for him, said, "I'm going to go get him out of there." But before he can get him out of there, you know what they did? They sold him. And we do that to us, each other most of the time. It's not because we don't mind them having it. It's just the fact that we don't think they deserve it. And so, that causes friends to become foes.
Let me get everybody to do something for me because I'm trying to figure out where it's coming. I've been playing around a little bit, but there's a feedback coming from somebody's line. Everybody mute until I call on you. That way we don't have that feedback, but we want to definitely make sure we have the best quality moving forward. So mute your line until I call on you and then unmute it for me. we got to keep this thing going. Let me go to Don. Don, you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Good deal. We're asking a question, man. As black men, are we friend or are we foe? What do you say to that?
Based on my upbringing or whatever, I mean, I'm generally never looking for an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not my enemy until you show me your intentions.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, from my experience, I've witnessed a lot of people hate you because of where you live or what you have or how you talk or how you dress,
Mm.
or outcast you because you don't look a certain way, you don't act a certain way. So in general, I'm always cautious to put people in that friend category. So
Mm-hmm.
from a standpoint, like brother was saying earlier, we can always come together and do something together. Doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be friends. If we come
Mm-hmm.
to a general gathering where it's like-minded people, you know, for a particular purpose, then that is what you can expect. But in general, when you're out in the street and you're in society, you don't know what that person's intentions are or who they are. You can give a good little head nod, like y'all was saying earlier. However, you won't know until they give you some sign that they're, I mean, in army terms or whatever, they're friendly or if they're irate. So, in my opinion, I definitely feel as though I would love to build stuff with my fellow brothers and whatnot and just vibe. But generally, I reserve myself and observe their behavior until I see that it's safe and I see that their intentions are good. And I show them my intentions are good, and then at that point we can go forward. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I'm more so about self-preservation and protection.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of stuff to protect. I can't risk allowing me to just let my guards down because we're trying to move forward. It has to be in a safe manner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Mr. Hicks, I think we lost Mr. Hicks. Hopefully he'll call back in because I definitely want to hear that brother's input as well. But while we're here, let me go to what's my brother name? Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
Okay. Question for you. We say that majority across the board we're saying that we are friend in comparison to being foe. As black men, we're friend in comparison to being foe. So let me ask you, if that be the case, and I'm not saying that is not the case, why is it so easy? Why has it become so easy for us to point a gun at each other and shoot each other down in the middle of the streets? Why is it so easy? If we're friend, that's what we say that we are. Why is it so easy for one individual, one black man, to point a gun at another black man and pull the trigger and let him lay there dead in the middle of the street? Why is that? Why is that important, or why is that so easy to do?
You know, that's a great question, my friend. There is here's something else that I absolutely love about my culture as a black man, but it is I believe a lot of it is the root of where we are now. Growing up, I went to college with other races,
Mm-hmm.
and what I explained to them about growing up in a black household, so we didn't have a whole lot. However, the one thing you were going to have in that house is respect.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter. You that was just, you're gonna have that. And so as black men, that is one of the things that we hold in the highest regards.
Mm-hmm.
Is respect. I've counseled married couples, and I explain to wives that if another man talked to your husband the way that you talk to him, he'd punch that man in the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that is what we hold dear. So in the street, there is a respect, a perceived disrespect, if we have just a difference of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we just saw a young man killed in a parking lot. They were arguing over a parking spot.
Wow.
And he got shot dead. And those stories have unfortunately become the norm. Because we have the disagreement, we get angry, and all of those things are natural. All those things are natural. The problem is that now the fear that you may get me before I got you,
Wow.
get you, we go straight to the gun, straight to lethal force. When we were growing up, you know, we may throw hands, and after that we go play basketball, football. You know, if you got me, you got me. I just got to play with a busted lip. But it's not that now.
Exactly.
Right? It's not that now. Even in social media, even in the way that the youth are dealing with each other now, everything is a respect thing, and you're going to respect me or you die. And it's unfortunate, and I don't know how to make that change. The only thing I could do is, of course, raise my own kids to ask them, can you live with that? Right? If somebody says something to you that you know not to be true, ask yourself, can you live with it? Right? Can you live with? Can I live with being called whatever name? And I'm okay with that, because the respect, you first have to respect yourself.
Yes. Come on.
Before, and I'm not worried about this guy respecting me or not. And in actuality, when you at the top of this whole call, you were talking about sleep. And I was just listening in, you know, when you guys started the conversation. But for me, I purposely went to sleep because I was respecting things, external things, more than I was internal things. I had people that would use me to fight fights, and they were good, justified fights. But my energy would go to those fights and wouldn't go to the true issues that I was dealing with within myself. And so I had to go to sleep on all that other stuff and begin to rest and begin to work on Xavier, because if I can't do that, then I really can't. I'm no good to my family or anybody else.
Yeah.
And so there are times where we got to put those things down. And so that allows me now to walk in the street.
That's powerful.
And, you know, and we get disrespected from time to time. But that Xavier that would do something different or make a different decision or say something, that Xavier has now been put to sleep.
There you go. That's powerful. That's powerful, brother.
Because I took time. So that's where I see now. That's why I you know, just opinion, why it's so easy now to pull the trigger. Because in my mind, if you disagree with me, it automatically means you don't respect me. You're gonna, you know, and then we go to lethal.
Wow.
We go to lethal force. I'd love to hear some other views on it.
Absolutely. And let me go. I'm gonna go around right now and ask a few more questions. But I love where we're going with this situation. I want to go to let me go to Rodney. Rodney, I'm gonna ask you the same question, brother. We say that we're friend. We say that we're friend. That's what we say. But it is so easy at times to point a gun, and you know what's gonna come out of that gun, man. Death a lot of times is gonna come out of that gun when you pull that trigger. Why is it so easy for us to pull that trigger and to shoot the very person down in the middle of the street that we say is our friend? Why?
Well, I'm going to plagiarize the last brother because he was on point.
Yes.
What happens is that mostly it's an internal issue. We don't respect ourselves, and we don't do the heavy lifting internally to ourselves. It's always easy to lash out at the external, which is shooting the gun. It's always easier to blame other people instead of sitting back saying, "What have I contributed to this situation?" When I was a bail bondsman, the biggest issue I saw with a lot of young men, and even older men for that matter, they would let that pride and ego, all that stuff, put them in a situation, and they don't think about the next 10 or 15 years they're going to spend in jail because of that 15-second disrespect. And so what it tells me is that they had not thought about themselves enough, or thought about their family enough to suck it up and keep it moving. If somebody, there's a term in the Bible, it says, you know, I'm not going to use that term. I'm saying to you, I know what I am as a man. I'm not going to let you or anybody else take me off of my game and have me spend 15, 20 years in jail to satisfy an ego. All right. So what ends up happening a lot of times, it's an internal issue that we have to deal with. And I'm the kind of person at my age, I've known a lot of people. When I see warning signs of people being envious or being foe or whatever, I just find another avenue to go. I just find something else to do. They can have their ball game. They can take and do what they got to do. I'm going to extricate myself in that situation politely and say, look, there's no need for you to call me partner. You know what I mean? There's no need for us to go out to lunch. You know, you stay in your lane. We're cool. You know, if you, as a matter of fact, if your car broke down the middle of the road, I still help you out.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not going to let anybody incur their personal preferences on my personal life, because I'm too old. I've been through all that already. So at this point, you know, if we're friends, we'll hook up. If we're not, keep it moving. I'm not going to hold it against you. But I'm going to look at what are the repercussions of me acting out. Can I live with that 15 years in jail? Can I live with my family? Prime example, when I was doing the bail bondsman thing, the guy used to tell me, yeah, man, I beat on my wife because she was messing around on me, right? I said, well, you know, you've been in jail for the last 5-6 days. What do you think she's doing now? You know what I mean? So, you know, you didn't think about that when he was doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? So my point is that we just have to have more self-respect toward ourselves and pass it on to our children. Hey, look, count the cost, you know, that's a Bible prophecy. Count the cost of building a house before you start to build it.
And one of the things about it, some people listening to us will say, well, you know, you're talking about black men pointing the gun at each other. And they will probably say, some of our listeners will probably say, well, everybody do that. That's true. But what we'll concentrate on, because of the fact that we're black men, we'll concentrate on black men because that's who we are. We're not talking about the other people, and that happens, and we're not disregarding that or bypassing that or say that that's not as tragic, because it is. That's not what we're saying. But what we're dealing with tonight, we're dealing with the black man that's doing that. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, we say that we're all friends. We say that we're all friends. So why is it so easy for one black man, and we're talking about black men right now, to point the gun at another man and shoot him down in the middle of the street if we say that we're friends?
Well, first of all, let's address this issue about friends. I don't associate people that shoot their friends, so I don't know them type of people you're talking about.
Well, I've seen a lot, Leonard, that, you know, say that they're friends and was very close. I seen brothers and sisters brutalize each other, and I'm sure that, you know, they had a
right. So the notion of friendship may be the wrong thing, maybe the wrong way to clarify. Anger.
I think, and this is just me talking, Leonard, but I think that anger could set in, and the best of friends could become angry and do something to hurt or harm the person that they're angry with, because
so it's about anger is what it's about, not friendship.
But you're still killing your friend.
But it does not matter, because anger is the issue.
But the person is still dead. The friend is still dead, though. You know,
but obviously the friendship part does not matter
at that moment. I can agree with you at that moment. No. But at the end of the day, you're still killing your friend. You're still killing somebody that looked like you, the person that looked like you, that you pointed that pistol, that gun, or whatever, and pulled that trigger. Because that individual is still dead.
Right, and that's my whole point. This notion that people believe that people kill each other because of the color of their skin and all these other issues is null and void. It's anger management. It's anger management.
I think that's
even when a dog get mad, you teach it not to bite.
But see, I think that's I understand what you're saying, and I'm not gonna say that you're wrong in what you're saying, but I think that's kind of diverting from what we're talking about right now. I think that's
it's not unimaginable, because think about it, what Donald said in the beginning, and I'm not one to use all these Bible stories to explain the situation. Cain was Abel's brother. This is where we get the first murder. So relationship don't matter. It's anger. It's anger that matters. And if you seek to solve a problem by anything else, you're gonna come up short. That's why we keep coming up short, because we don't deal with anger and conflict management.
But see, the thing about it, this conversation that we're having right now, I understand what you're saying, and you're making a very valid point. But my thing is, this conversation that we have right now is not based on the anger. It's based on the friendship that we say that we have. And for one person to say that they're friend and to point a gun at another individual and shoot them down in the middle of the street, I don't see that as a very friendly act. But I understand what you're saying. Let me go to Cap. Cap, what's on your heart? Why is it so easy?
Well, wow, it's. Listen, let me put it like this. If I hate myself, then what do I think about you and you look like me? Huh?
Come
if
on.
I hate me, if I look in the mirror and I hate me, I don't say I hate me, but subtly I do hate me because I'm doing everything that is anti-me. And if I don't respect me, you think I'm going to respect you?
Wow. Wow.
If I'm doing self-destructive behavior things, if I'm killing myself, whether I'm shooting drugs, whether I'm doing meth, or whether I'm sneaking in a man's bedroom, that's dangerous. Whether I roll the wrong dice, whether I'm wearing different colors, you can't get mad why they don't want to give Eva Knievel insurance because he wanted to jump the Grand Canyon. You already know, man, that's a death wish, dude. So we're seeing black men, or our youth in particular, engage in self-destructive behavior. So it's easy to kill you when I really don't have no love for myself. If I don't see me as nothing, you ain't nothing. So this has its now. If it has its root somewhere, he just don't hate himself for nothing.
Yeah.
There's an origin to self-hatred, and one day I'm hoping we will address that origin of self-hatred, because every one of us on this line, even myself, Captain D. I've been in the nation for 18 years. I've been in the nation since I was 18 years old. That's 51 years now. I thought I got rid of something. I thought, man, I love me some Captain D. I learned to love myself. But every now and then, somebody would bring that Negro up out of me. I thought he was dead. I really, really thought that dude was dead. And he'll pop up and say, oh my shit. He's been laying dormant all this time. So all of us. But because I practice respect of myself, I'm a self-respecting man, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
I do not go nowhere where I'm not wanted. I want to say that again. I don't go nowhere
Yes, sir.
where I'm not wanted. And so when you become a self-respecting person, it's easy to respect other people. But if you don't respect yourself, I'm expect you to respect me. So it's easy, Raheem, for these young people to pull the trigger.
Wow.
Because deep down inside, they really hate themselves. And again, I say it has its root, and that's a whole nother topic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Elder, what do you say to that, brother? Why is it so hard? If we say that we're friends, as black men, we're friends. We're not foe, we're friends. Why is it so easy for us? And everybody mute your line. We got the cracking sound. Everybody mute your line for me. Why is it so easy for one black man to point a gun, pistol, a weapon at another black man and shoot him down dead in the middle of the street? Why is it so easy, Elder?
Well, because that person has devalued himself, and he's devalued his brother, and our society feeds on that, and some of our history has contributed to that, you know, and we see ourselves. You know, you think about a lot of the movies and TV shows and all that kind of, you know. There's always a negative thing in this in these presentations regarding the black man. There's some positive things too, certainly.
Yes, sir.
Certainly
yes,
there
sir.
are, but there are a whole lot of negative things. Look at the news, you know, and so and then if this person has never felt love from a black person, maybe his father, you know. He never had love from his father. It's very easy for him to do that. Because now we're talking about the whole societal thing. Now, hope for all those things are tied in that with why a person would do that. You know, it really is. There are a lot of factors involved in that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of factors. Absolutely. Rico, talk to me, brother. Why is it so easy, man, for one to point that pistol, pull the trigger, and allow his brother to lay there dead in the middle of the street?
Man, first let me say, man, Xavier knocked it out the park, man. It's good to hear from you, my brother. It's good to hear from you, and you broke it down so eloquent, man. I mean, and I was jumping at the bit because if he didn't say it, that's what I was itching to say.
He laid the foundation. He laid the foundation. He laid a foundation, man. He definitely did. That brother laid a foundation for this. Absolutely.
I mean, I was like I said, I was already itching to say that because I was thinking about, even though there may be envy, even though there may be jealousy, even though there may be just, you know, the whatever the reasons are, it can't go into effect without the disrespect. See, that's when the trouble starts, when the stuff hits the fan. And so I think about the fact that, you know, you can be friends if you respect each other enough.
Yeah.
But the problem is you know, I was listening to you say that about the gunplay, and really and truly, even before the gunplay, the fighting was even a sign of the disrespect. The envy would be for so small reasons, man. I mean, I've seen people actually get envious of another man because the things he did accomplish was so easy and it was hard for them. Or maybe they just had charisma. You know, you have a personality, and some people can't figure out, why does everybody like him? I get tired of hearing his name. But you're just a people person.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just kind, maybe you're respectful, and that's the reason why people like you, but everybody else, or this guy, doesn't know that. Now, somebody that has self-esteem and confidence about themselves, they've been taught to defend themselves, they could probably whoop everybody in the city. But they ain't gonna whoop everybody in the city unless somebody mess with them. But then somebody that's lacking, probably living in poverty and mad that you get a car and you got the nice things, that you make straight A's, and all the teachers brag about you, and they always want you to read. So many different things. They can't stand that you just get attention.
Yeah.
And they don't get no attention. See, that ain't no problem right there. But then if they think you kind and you weak, that's when they might want to get disrespectful. That's when they might want to show all the girls, look, y'all, he ain't so tough. All y'all want to go with him. Y'all think he the man. Look at, he can't even bust a grape, y'all. Look at, he's scared. He a punk. He ran, y'all. Look at, he ran. He don't even like to fight. Maybe he don't like to hurt people.
Exactly.
Maybe he don't want to kill you over this, and he realized, you know what, man, you about to make me, as Captain Dennis said, act a nigga on you, because you envious about my charisma and my personality and my smile, my charm, all these different things that don't mean nothing. You should congratulate me for. You should ask me how you do this. I actually seen a man one time make his foe his best friend, but the guy that he made his best friend, he didn't even realize it was his foe at first. But this man was envious. Man, why everybody like JJ? Man, why all them white girls like JJ? Everybody loves JJ. Man, he ain't gonna be the starting fullback. I'm taking that job. He just could not outdo JJ, and he couldn't figure it out. So what he did, he gravitated towards him, started being his friends, and started imitating him.
Wow.
If you couldn't beat him, join him. And he stopped hating him. Now they best friends. JJ to this day still don't know how much Said really hated him. But it was because of the charisma and the attention and the accolades that JJ received.
Well, Rico, I think you know now because you just told him.
No, I'm just using names.
I know you. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Why is it so easy, man? And we've established the fact that majority, as a whole, we're friend and not foe. So why is it so easy, man, to point a pistol at someone that look just like you? Tucson, he about to say something, boy, Lord Jesus. When he started doing that right there, ain't no telling what Tucson about to say. But why is it so easy?
It ain't bad. But you know what I thought about? I mean, y'all help me out. There's something that's on the inside of me that I despise. I mean, you know, if I get prideful and arrogant and act stupid or foolish, that burns me up about me. And I don't want that nowhere around me. And there are some people that act like what I despise in me.
Wow.
And that's destructive. And I believe that that's what causes us to do harm to us because we despise it. The lack of what I know that I can't accomplish, that makes me mad. I wish I could. You know, there are some people that they can't be the big dog on the block, and they know they're not. So they won't stand up to the big dog. They'll take a gun and kill the big dog, so that somebody have respect for them. But it's something that they hate about themselves, like us. Now, I'm just saying, I don't have to be right. I don't try to be right. But I look at what we do. We fussing and fighting and cutting up and killing each other about a neighborhood that's not ours. We have things and give us a portion or just enough to make us fight each other about a piece of the pie. It ain't even it's not even the whole pie. They're not the drug lords. They just got a couple of pounds. And here's somebody that got 2 ounces more than you, and you trying to take them out.
Exactly. Pastor said to me a long time ago, he said, Raheem, a person don't care what you got, long as you don't have more than them. I was like, wow. Wow. And you know, a lot of times I say this to you all the time. When somebody says something to me, man, and they hit me, I say that again. I want them to say, and he said, a person don't care what you got, long as you don't have more than them. Yes, sir.
You and some of you might relate to that. And I'm just saying, I talk about from where I am. You know, the sad thing about it is it's just like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All you got is 2 more members than me, and I'm mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's people.
And some of them preachers in the same family, Donald.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And not only that, they got church folk. They're not gonna leave the church. They dog the church out. They've been there for 50 years, and every time a new member join, they got something bad to say.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input on what we're talking about tonight. Let me go to Cornelius. Cornelius, talk to me, brother. Why is it so easy, man, for one black man to take a pistol, point at another black man, and shoot him down dead in the middle of the street? Man, talk to me.
You know, as I've been listening to everybody, and all of us been on point, but I'm gonna take it all the way back to the beginning. What's that gentleman's name? Fred? The guy, the first guy that spoke on this.
Oh, Mr. Johnson. This is Xavier.
Mr. Johnson, man. He was dead on it, man, because I'm gonna go here first. I think about back in the day, man, when I first seen a young black man kill another young black man. I was 15 years old in high school. And the guy was by the name of Chester Bo Jackson. He was a star football player in high school. But what he did was he bullied this kid that was a freshman, and he was a junior. And the kid kept telling everybody, man, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Nobody did pay attention. They was just like, man, he ain't going to just think he's talking smack. So he came to school with a pistol. This was back in 1986.
Wow.
Came to school with a pistol. Chased him down, shot in the school. Missed him, but one kid got shot. Chased him around into the lunchroom, shot in the lunchroom. Missed him, but another kid got shot. He chased him. Chester Bo Jackson ran out the back of the school. He met him, cut through the other back way, caught him in the back behind the what's the name, and blew his brains out. This was a 14-year-old kid killing a 16-year-old kid.
Wow.
And then think about That's the first time I've seen another young black man kill another young black man. Then I think about myself. I don't know if I remember telling this story. I think about this. I had a situation where after my mother had passed away, I told her my coping mechanism was to buy all the mothers roses for Mother's Day. I was doing that. So they wanted to return something back to me for Father's Day. Some friends of my uncle broke in my house, stole the stuff that they bought me. I chased this guy down, found him, got out my car, found him at the liquor store, got out my truck. I had a 1994 Ford Bronco Eddie Bauer edition. I found him, got out my truck, pulled my gun, and pointed at him, and the gun jammed on me. I was trying to kill him.
Wow.
I pulled the trigger. The gun would not go off. And I think about those things where another friend of mine, I literally wanted to take his life because he beat me out of $20,000. And I thought he was my friend. And I say this and I begin to pray and I ask God and tell the God, I want to kill him. And I literally had my heart set to do it. But why is all that? Why did I bring all that up? Because what Mr. Johnson brought up is disrespect.
Yeah.
Passion.
Mm-hmm.
Passion. What is passion? An uncontrollable emotion. The things that we're passionate about, the things that we feel so strong about to our heart will make us snap.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the story that I told you here at my job. I was to that point.
Yeah.
But because my passion shifted to God, He controlled my emotions through the power of the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But the old me, because I began to think about what will be the consequences behind if I do this.
Yeah.
Everything that I built up, everything that I strive for in life, man, as a man of God, as an elder in the church, as the armor bearer to my bishop, what will happen if all the people will hear that I got locked up for taking a dude out? I would have been a stumbling block to the gospel.
Exactly.
So my passion had shifted from the emotions that I feel when people disrespect me to my love for God. But if I do this, I will disrespect him. And that's what it is, man. It's about respect and disrespect. People react those ways because they're passionate about how they feel about these things. And Raheem, man, I got to get back to work, man. I'm so sorry.
No, appreciate you, brother.
I've been on here too long now, so I got to get hit the grind.
There you go.
God bless you guys. Love you, man. And I'll get back with you later.
Yes, sir. Love you as well, man. I appreciate you too, man. Definitely appreciate you. Xavier, what's on your heart? What's on your heart, brother?
Hey man, everybody laying that fire out, man.
Yes, sir.
It's Paul made a statement. Paul said, "When I would do good, evil is ever present." Right?
Yes, sir.
We isn't it interesting that we all are subject to that? And I don't think it's a weakness. I think it's simply just a part of our manhood. Leonard was talking earlier about that anger and how that anger can cause you to do things that normally wouldn't be in your character, regardless of who you are. I read a story earlier today. A grandfather shot his, and it's only funny because the boy didn't die, but he shot his grandson. 82-year-old gentleman shot his 35-year-old grandson. I think it was in Coweta County. And over some little argument. I saw a video on Facebook a couple years ago. A father and son had a shootout in front of the dad's house, and it was caught on the Ring camera. Now they didn't hit each other, but they were shooting at each other. And it's interesting. So I think that this conversation, though we talk about what causes us to get to that place, or what causes a man to pick up a gun against another man, it shows that we all are capable of that, regardless of where we are, regardless of how spiritual, how much we fast, we are always, matter of fact, Old Testament talks about how Satan was saying he was going to and fro in the earth, seeing who he can devour. That one thing, right? We all have it. Hebrews talks about it. Lay aside every weight and the sin. It's a singular thing, and thus that one thing that can knock us off of our pedestal that we put ourselves on, or whatever that looks like. But it's everybody has that one thing, right? With me, it's my children. I'll lose. Yeah. I'll forget I'm saved, and we'll pray when we get through.
Yes, sir.
But I'm gonna go upside your head.
Yes, sir.
It's one of those situations.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. I'm not married anymore. I know a lot of husbands. If it's their wife, they'll punch, they'll knock their own son mouth off.
Yeah.
You disrespect your mama, boy, I'll forget you, my child. Everyone has that. And so now I pose the question back to you is, what are some ways that we can defuse ourselves once we are there? How do we find that thermometer and keep an eye on it? What are some tactics we can use to step away? Because an argument can turn deadly in just that quick.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And I think to answer your question, brother, I think what have to happen is, and I think you said it in your question. Sometimes we have to remove ourselves from that situation. Sometimes we have to find the strength to walk away. To even though how it looks or how we appear, ain't no punk, ain't go. No, man, walk away from that situation, because if you don't, it could end up a couple of ways. Either you're gonna kill somebody, you're gonna die, or you're going to jail. But if you just take this second and say, you know what, and I've said this to somebody, man, I've had an argument. I said, you know what, you win, bro, you win, and I walk away. Now, don't follow me. If I'm walking away, don't follow behind me now. I'm walking away for a reason, because I know what might happen next if I stay here. So if I choose to walk away and get myself out of that situation, and you follow me, now you escalated to a whole different level. Don't follow me. Just let me go. Just let me go. Rico, I saw Rodney with his hand up. I'm gonna go to him. Then I come to you, Rico. Rodney, what's on your heart?
Yeah, as you know, I've got to get off in a minute, but
yes.
The anger part is very important. But as we're talking about the anger, I thought about pride. Most of the time, our pride will step in, and that triggers the anger. So the solution is to get our pride in check, and things won't make us so angry.
Yeah.
And it's everything that I think it starts with that pride issue. You know what I mean? I mean, no one can make you feel insecure. You're making yourself feel insecure.
Yeah.
Because of what you bring to the table.
Exactly.
And then in return, your own insecurity makes you angry. So you lash out. So it's a double-edged blade. You get your pride in check. Hopefully it'll diminish your anger. You're still going to get angry. Well, you get angry for the right reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So with that said, brothers, I'm going to get off this line here. I want to thank everybody, and I appreciate all the wisdom that I learned tonight. And everybody be safe.
Yeah, you too, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yes, Rico, what's on your heart, brother? I see you too, son.
Man, I'm going to say this one thing, man. The last thing you want to do is trick yourself off these streets and get in that situation where you got to sit back and think or second guess what you did. You realize that you went and lost control. You know, that it's too late then. It's very much too late to do it then. So, well, you sort of do what I said the first time, because you're going to get that person that's going to be, man, I used to get it all the time. People that were just, and don't get me wrong, I met people that had more charm and charisma than me, and I actually acknowledged it. I might have picked up a little bit from them. I'm like, hey man, that dude, he got a lot of women. He get them women. Women love him.
Yeah.
I didn't get mad, but on the other end, I would hear people in the background ear hustling. Look at Rico. He think he's sweet. Wait a minute. Who watching me?
Yeah.
Why you worried about me? And then you know what's coming with that. And I said earlier, you find people that find a way to instigate. They'll trigger you. They'll try to trigger you, and they'll start pushing you and pressing buttons because they think you might not be prepared. And even before the gunplay, even like I said back in the day, we did it with the fist.
Yeah.
But if you ain't careful, that might go too far. So when I do walk away, when I am trying my best not to fight, I'm doing you a favor. I'm trying my best to do you a favor. I love life, and I get what you're doing, and I understand where you're coming from. And you know what, man? I ain't fixing to get weak like that and get to fight because really and truly you starting all of this because you envious of me, because I had a car and you don't have a car. You know, you just have so many different reasons why you coming up in our community where you had to deal with people with poverty. You had to fight for making A's sometimes. Maybe you had to fight just for not going along with the, you know, the flow of everything that everybody else was doing. So you had to fight. So what you do, you walk away. You know, maybe you get them on that football field. That's where you release your anger. But at the same time, that's where you learn restraint. You know, and so you get the release during games, and then you start coming across people that you know really and truly they don't stand a chance with you. If you don't get caught up in your ego and your arrogance, you won't walk around and use that strength to just beat up people. Well, you'll still use it when it's necessary to protect people and stop people from hurting you. But you walk away. You know, you swallow your pride because people gonna say, you was a punk. You walked off. You let him say that to you and you ain't say nothing. You know what? I remember somebody told the guy Frank on here that if he didn't stand up for his woman when he was outnumbered, that she was gonna whoop that dude and then whoop him. She wanted him to stick his neck out on the line, outnumbered in the mall with people that he know was looking to start some trouble. They was ready to make an example out of somebody, and his woman wanted him to be a knight in shining armor. He was about to go viral.
Exactly. Wait, how do you say world star? What you saw? What's on your heart, brother?
No, I was waving at my brother, telling me that's all I was doing. But somebody got to live to tell the story.
Lord
I'm
Jesus.
gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one.
Lord.
I'm not finna act a fool with a fool. No, sorry, buddy. Gee, a soft answer turn away wrath. I ain't got to raise my voice. I get into something, even at work, man. I look at these guys and they say, I tell them to do something. I say, a minute, I don't have that type of conversation. Well, I'm just, listen to me. I don't even respond. Your tone is too high for us to continue to conversation. Period.
Fix your pitch.
That's it.
Yeah.
If it raises to a certain level, I'm done. Because I don't know if we said it before. I got too much to lose. I ain't that. I try not to be. I try not to be that prideful. You know, or making it all about me. This world ain't about me. I'm just a little pebble. Just trying to make it, man. I ain't trying to be nobody else. I'm not trying to do nobody else. I'm just trying to do my part. If I can do it with you, good. But if it comes to the point that we've all of a sudden become competitors, the game is over with. I don't even like sports.
Yeah. Leonard, talk to me, bro.
Everybody brings up great points. It's like, you know, I usually try to get people to understand. I'm born and raised a Christian. I love Islam. And Buddhism is a great practice. So control has always been the priority for me. I don't even sow seeds that would lead to such things. So it has to be, and I do that so when the enemy does come, I know I am righteous enough to win. And it has worked. It has worked. I can't speak for everybody else, but it has not ever benefited me to lose control of myself. I don't accidentally do anything.
Yeah.
And I take my licks. So When somebody get into it with me, I don't even believe I'm going to lose because I have done no wrong.
Yeah.
So that fuels me to understand that even if I wanted to fight you, I would really have the advantage. Because it's not so much as me putting my hands on you. I've had people come back and tell you said something to me 15 years ago that has haunted my life. I'm not wanting to be sitting around letting you provoke me to do anything. Because I reserve that right. Because that's what I'm going to be judged for. So I'm going to be in control of that decision that I make.
That's good. Good
And
deal.
if I choose to do certain things, I only answer to God. That's why I don't have to fear things that much. Or I don't get into confrontations with people. Because to me, if I know you that type of person, I'm not fooling with you no more. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I didn't need you before I met you. What makes you think I need you now?
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Got a few more minutes before we get out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast. I want to go to Captain. Captain, what's on your heart?
Oh man, these guys is absolutely changing tonight. I mean, here's what I'm gonna stop trying to do is mention any one individual because you all hit it out the park.
Yes, sir.
I go to mention one individual, man. I do a disservice to the great intellectual conversation that everyone lends to this wonderful topic. I got to be true to myself because I'm just as guilty as the young boys out there. I lost it the other day, man, and my wife heard me scream at the top of my lung with my blood brother. And my blood pressure went up. And God forbid if we were in the physical presence of each other, it could have got violent. Now, I do know better now, family. I really, really, really do. But there's always come someone who, again, I like the word disrespect, you know, that would rub you the wrong way. And there's always somebody you know.
Yeah.
Them the ones who you really, really, it could be your son, your daughter, your brother, your cousin, your daddy. The bottom line is, after I went through it with him, he got me on 10. I'm blood pressure high. Now, he may not even be as bothered as I am. But, he probably eating a daggone tuna fish sandwich after he got through talking to me. I'm like a pit bull. I want to get back at him again. But my sisters, they telling me, well, you're emotional. You know better. Why would you argue with him? You're supposed to be the calm one. They always throw that up. And I said to myself, look here, that's easy said than done.
Yeah.
You know, men have, we're talking mano to mano. It's something about us men, when we get at it, it's easy to say, men don't sit there and say, all right, brother, with it. I mean, we can say that that's the right thing to do. But for some reason, because of who I am, I sometimes think I could intellectually whoop his behind. But there's an old saying that a fool can insult an intelligent man, but an intelligent man can never insult a fool. So no matter how I'm trying to get at him, he's just too stupid to recognize I'm getting at him. But he done got me all revved up. So we do have to rise above our emotion. I'm guilty, brother. Thank God that I didn't see him physically because he would have been on and popping. But then I think about it.
Yeah.
My wife showed me, and I feel bad because I can't let nobody take me that way. I love your discipline, Linda. If you can sit there and see it come and walk away, you know, but this something for y'all go act like y'all don't know, like a good fight. That's all. Like a good fight.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. But thank you so much, Raheem. I appreciate every last one of you, man. And I'm gonna work hard not to be one of them there. Thank God I don't have no weapons.
Yes, sir.
You know, but I don't carry weapons, maybe because there's very reason I'm not the kind of guy you can get mad. I try not to go there I don't know, as they say, when you love hard, you fight hard. That's all.
There you go.
Thank you.
Exactly. Elder, talk to me, sir.
Well, I was thinking about really love the comments. I was thinking about, a lot of it has to do with our preparation before we even face somebody. You know how some people talk about, man, I'm not gonna let nobody ever do this to me. I'm not gonna ever, if somebody say this, I'm gonna, so you already got that talk going on in your head. So you braced to do that. You ready. It's just like a person getting a weapon, putting in the car. Let somebody say something to me. You see, so that talk has already been going on. And also along with the preparation, there's that kind of like expectation that somebody's going to do something. So you kind of already, you're on your haunches because you're expecting somebody to do something. But, there's another kind of preparation. I know, not trying to sound all spiritual and everything, but, the Bible says, how can his way pure? By guarding it according to his word. I've laid up his word in my heart that I may not sin against God. Now, this does not mean that we're going to be perfect.
Yes.
But there is a keeping power in the word of God. Because the word of God, instead of us preparing what we gonna do or what we not gonna do, what you ain't gonna do is, instead of we preparing all that, we're preparing to do God's will. And sometimes, like somebody said earlier, a soft answer does turn away wrath. And so but most of us in most of our situations, we don't know what we're going to do. The kindest person can go flat off, and the cruelest person can be calm. You see? So we don't know. That's why we need to get the word in us. So that the way God wants it to be, not perfect. You see what I'm saying? But it does. It's a keeping power. See, it depends on what we're thinking about all the time. That has a lot to do with it too.
And you said it. A song said it best. The sweetest woman in the world could be the meanest woman in the world if you make her that way. If you make her that way. Listen, it's time for us to get out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for joining us, man. We're at 57 right now. So what I'm gonna do right now, go around and let everybody say what they want to say real briefly in their closing. We're gonna go to the phone lines first. Captain, what would you like to say in your closing?
Listen, man, thank you so much. May God bless y'all. And I'm looking for tomorrow. What you call it? We Out Wednesday or
yes, sir.
Wednesday, Rico Wednesday. What is it?
It's called Wait.
I'm looking forward to my brothers. I love y'all. May God bless and protect each and every one of your family.
Likewise. I love you as well, sir. Xavier, in your closing, sir.
Man, bless you, man. Thank you guys for allowing me to jump in tonight and fellowship a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And praying, of course, God's protection on all of you guys, man. God bless.
Hey, Xavier, if you don't mind, brother, hang out with us. I'm gonna come to you if you don't mind to pray us out at the end when everybody say what they say in the closing. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good deal. Toussaint.
Yeah, man, I just enjoyed it tonight, man. It's just healthy. I see why I said it's iron sharpens irons, because I think our tools are a little bit more sharper than they were when we began the conversation. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Good deal. Elder.
Just glad to be here with everybody. I appreciate the wisdom and appreciate the love. Thank you. God bless everybody.
Hey, bless you as well. Leonard.
Man, it's been a great conversation. I would advise everybody. I love what was said before. Practice. Don't wait till the issue comes. Practice so you'll know what to do.
Yes, sir.
And when to do it. But it was great. Also, I'm going to send you some information about individuals who are interested in participating in the campaign for Stacey Abrams.
Okay.
They are starting to canvass now, and they're paying $20 an hour for folks 18 and over.
Okay.
So once I get this computer to work, I'm gonna send it to you so you can put it out. Okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Rico.
Man, when I was young, I was taught two of the most important things ever when it comes to respect. Keep your feet on the ground and not on people, and keep your hands to yourself. That's a lot of respect. And if you can do that from the very beginning, regardless of what type of ill feelings or emotions or envy or whatever it is you have against another person, maybe you just disagree. Maybe they said something about your mama. Keep your hands to yourself and keep your feet on the ground.
What?
Because sometimes because sometimes you might not be able to deal with the consequences behind that.
I remember, man, and you're absolutely right, Rico. I don't want to, bypass what you just said. You're absolutely right when you say that. But when you said that, man, this clip from Richard Pryor came up when he posted up in the president, and the white guy was in there. He said, "Look at here," and Leonard must know what I'm talking about. Cause he laughing. I would look at Tucson. And the man was asking questions, and he said, "Look at here, man. You about to end your presidency. I want to ask you a question about your mama." And Richard like, "What you say? What you say?" He said, "No. When you end your presidency as a president, your mama used to be a house." He said, "What you say about my mama?" And boy, look here. He said,
"Can about that Saturday Night Live skit, right?"
I think it was.
Yeah.
He said, "Can your mama come and clean my house?" Boy, Richard jumped out that presidential podium. He forgot he was president. Boy, he went out to that dude. That man, it was man. Richard Pryor was a funny dude, man. That dude was something else. Listen, let me I don't got sidetracked, y'all bear with me, but I want to do this right here before we even go to the prayer. We got a show. This is a Real Men Being Men. We do this every Tuesday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on DKM Media Group. We got a show every day, Monday through Friday, called The Morning Glow. Now, we have a topic Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. But Wednesday is a real special day. I let my hair down. Rico, what is it called on Wednesday?
It's called Way Out Wednesday.
Okay. You got it right. And you can actually call in, and whatever's on your heart, we'll talk about it and talk about it in its entirety. So we open up the phone lines. So if you want to talk about something, you have a discussion, you want to talk about something going on in your community, in your household, or whatever you want to talk about, in your city, state, or whatever you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it in its entirety. You have a question about anything, we'll definitely address that question as well. Have a panel that's absolutely amazing, that's very qualified to answer any question that you may have. Now, we're going to go to the because we done did all that. Now I got to go to Xavier. Xavier, you still with us, brother?
Still here.
Okay. Xavier, if you don't mind, brother, will you pray us out?
Absolutely. Kind of gracious Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this fellowship. Real men coming together that have a heart for you, a heart for each other, a heart for their homes. We ask that you take the conversation, take the wisdom that's been shared in this place tonight, and etch it into our hearts. Yes. All of the tips and tools, all of the information that has been shared amongst your men that we all can use to give you more glory, to give you more praise, to be better husbands and fathers and leaders and friends in our own communities. We thank you for bringing us through the experiences that have given us the wisdom to be able to share with each other tonight. Father, touch our families, touch their minds, put your hedge of protection on all of us and everything that we touch. We're careful to give your name all honor, glory, and praise. It's in Jesus' name that we pray and give thanks. Amen.
Amen. Been a great broadcast, and I want to make sure that if you get an opportunity, please share the broadcast. And one more time, I'm gonna say it, share the broadcast. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and associates and Real Men Being Men for being a part of your evening. It is now 10:04. You're about to exit Real Men Being Men, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great night and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from Real Men Being Men. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great evening. Love you. And please, please, please be blessed. See you in the morning if God say the same. Have a great night.